You know, one of my favorite memes I've seen recently? It's like, I don't know if this is real or not, or if this is edited. Generally can't tell, but it's like the Oppenheimer trailer being shown, and then just people cheering at Albert Einstein like he's part of the Avengers or some shit.
What the fuck?
It's like, I know that face! like, have you seen like the, like, cinemas react to like Avengers Endgame or some shit like that, where, you know, you have moments and then fucking you see Captain America pick up the hammer and everyone's like, yo! So yeah, I don't know if this is me, but it's like a shitty cam rip of, I'm not sure if it's the Oppenheimer trailer, but it's like a really, really serious trailer, and then Albert Einstein comes on screen and everyone's like, yeah, it's the GOAT! It's the GOAT!
That's my boy!
I saw funny memes of people in the front row at the movie. And
at the IMAX?
It's like the faces are all fucked up.
It's like,
why do they even bother selling tickets in the front row? They should not be allowed to sell those tickets to IMAX front row tickets. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I fucking despise sitting in the front row.
Yeah.
I remember I remember distinctly the first movie I watched where I sat in the front row because all other tickets were sold out, and it was Star Wars Episode 3. And I'm like, maybe this will be a good experience. And so the movie starts, and the first thing I hear is, and I'm like, fuck it. I immediately regretted life. I'm like, my eardrums were fucking destroyed. Sorry if I destroyed your ears, but that's
not
what
to
I felt.
mention, like, if you're in the front row, it doesn't even have to be an IMAX screen. Your neck's like this.
Yeah.
The whole time. And so after you finish the movie, your first thing isn't like, wow, that was a great film, and like talking to your friends about it. It's you just going, oh,
yeah,
fuck. That was not worth sitting at 2 hours to do this.
Yeah, you need a fucking chiropractor after you finish watching a movie like that.
Yeah, they should not be allowed to sell those tickets.
No.
I don't know why.
I haven't been sold an IMAX. I don't know why.
I still can't tell the difference.
Of what?
IMAX to a normal cinema.
Well, IMAX is big.
Yeah, it's like, but there's like no fucking difference. It's just big.
Yeah,
I genuinely can't. Maybe
it's too big.
And I said this once in an episode, and it all comes like, how can you not tell the difference? I'm like, I genuinely, it does not change anything.
Yeah, like every movie I've watched in IMAX makes me uncomfortable because the screen is so big. I always feel like I'm missing something.
It's huge.
I know it's designed to be like, this is going to fit your peripheral vision. And I'm like, there is so much information my brain is trying to take in right now. I don't think I can process everything that's like happening.
I don't have the brain capacity to care about my peripheral vision right now. I've got this shit right in front of me to deal with.
Yeah. But it's all about the immersion, you know, the immersion.
And just go to a 4D movie at that point.
Yeah.
That's more immersive.
Do you think VR movies can ever exist, or something?
Yeah.
I think it'll be a crap viewing experience.
Yeah.
I think ultimately your eyes just like being far away from the screen.
Because I've tried watching movies through like my VR goggle, or like, you know, like YouTube videos and stuff like that through my VR goggle.
Why?
And it does, just because I was curious to see if there was a difference. And I tried it out and I'm like, this is shit. Like I almost prefer it if it was further away. And then I was like, oh, that's what cinemas are for. I finally understood at that point.
Well, that's why
like,
everyone wants a bigger TV, but they want to sit further away.
Further away, yeah, exactly.
In their house.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like it. I guess that's like the invisible fourth wall, but I like having a distance between the story being told and what I'm being presented, because I always feel like it's kind of like you're tricking your brain into getting immersed in this world, but not too much. There's like a safety net to there, you know. Like I couldn't imagine. That's why I don't think I could ever play VR horror games. I mean, I hate horror games already, but I cannot. I think I'd literally go through a heart attack if I played something like Resident Evil in VR. Holy shit, that sounds terrifying.
I get a heart attack playing Resident Evil regularly.
Yeah, exactly,
Let
right?
alone VR.
Exactly.
Fuck that shit. Yeah.
Like I'd probably be that guy jumping into like the television screen that you see in like every Grandpa Tries VR for the first time video. You know, that's
just to escape.
Yeah. Like I know it's fake, but yeah, even in just in horror, I'm a fucking pussy. I don't know how people can enjoy horror movies.
I second that. I second that. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. But it's weird because I like here's the thing. I really, really like immersion. Immersion is like so important. Immersion is one of the most important aspects for me when it comes to video games and movies. You know, that's why I like something like Final Fantasy 16 with a fully fleshed out world and characters that I can just immerse myself in the world. To me, that is almost as enjoyable as the story being told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? Is that like, I'm right there with you on that. Totally agree. But like, I feel that's a different kind of immersion. You know, like what you just described was an emotional immersion.
Yeah.
Of being like, I am part of this world. Whereas like VR games and VR movies or like 4D movies, they try and bring on a physical immersion.
Yeah.
Which I feel has still a long ways to go just because it's doesn't really work for a lot of people, or it's not necessarily something people want to be involved in.
It'll have its Avatar moment.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think like if they come up with like a VR film or game or whatever where it's like there is also that emotional immersion thrown into it, then I think it'll be a lot easier to actually get physically involved in whatever it is. But as of right now, there's very few games that do that, and the ones that do are horror games like Resident Evil, which I'm like, no, thank you, dog. I'm good.
For fuck's sake, the only genre that is really fucking good in VR for immersion is horror games.
Yeah, which is the one I don't play.
which is the one game that I don't want to
So it's like,
play.
great.
I played some okay horror games on VR. Pretty fun.
Yeah.
Kind of terrifying.
Were you emotionally immersed into it though?
I don't know what the story was.
So no.
No, but it's just terrifying.
So no.
You're in like a mansion and there's ghosts and shit. And you're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh,
But that's the problem, right? Is that like all these like physically immersive games, they don't give you the space to be emotionally immersive into it. Like, okay, I got scared and I had a physical reaction to it because there was a jump scare that was right in my fucking face from my periphery. But at the end of the day, once the credits roll, it's like, well, I don't really much understand or care about what just happened. All I know is that I just got jump scared by something.
Yeah.
Fear and Hunger VR. Let's do it.
Fear and Hunger
that'll
VR?
be terrifying.
That would be fucking horrifying.
How terrifying is the game by itself? Is it?
It's
I mean,
more creepy than
because what you said is that the way you've described it at least is it's terrifying because of the gameplay aspects to it.
It's fucking terrifying though too. I mean, the enemies chase you down if they lock onto you, and it's gross.
Yeah.
I mean, there's definitely some moments where you're like, oh, that's very disturbing. I think disturbing and graphic is like the two, which I guess makes horror, and I think they both fall under horror.
Yes.
But there's no like jump scares or anything like that, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
And I'm not normally into these kind of worlds, but I don't know why. It's been very captivating. And,
Yeah.
I think it's just refreshing, right?
it's great.
Yeah.
It's awesome. The world's so interesting as well.
It is.
I never care about.
See, but but again, that's like a great emotional immersion where it's like, oh, I actually care about this world and it feels real.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually experiencing through it and not just like hitting a bunch of buttons to advance the story kind of deal, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I wish there was more things to do with existential horror. I mean, I've talked about my love for Lovecraftian horror a lot, but like existential horror is just my favorite kind of.
It's kind of like that.
Is it kind of like that?
Yeah, it's a bunch of gods and shit. A bunch of weird things you don't know shit about.
Right.
Story about people trying to become like gods and how that interacts with real gods.
Okay.
It's all really weird.
sounds like every Final Fantasy game.
There's a ton of weird fucking Lovecraftian monsters that you're like, what the fuck? And then you're like, oh, this is the god of fertility. You're like, what?
Yeah.
I got it. First person
put-
VR Fear and Hunger.
Yeah, dude, that would be nuts. I'd
be-
shit myself.
Yeah.
You're in the fucking like blood cavern, and then this fucking ogre starts chasing you.
Yeah.
I'd shit myself.
Yeah.
Do you
And his
know,
dick's out.
Get on a game
His
design.
dick is out.